What's up, my dudes? We are back at it again with another video. Hope you guys are enjoying the channel and the content that I'm putting out, because I don't really have much stuff to do, and I'm kind of, just working on stuff that I have to work on here, actual work, nothing that's mine or extravagant or fun. So I don't pick up the camera most often unless I have something to do, like the last few videos and like this video. So in this video, we are going to be taking my buddy OJ's black EX or 97 coupe, EK coupe. It's an EJ6. We're taking this thing to the dyno. This is a car that him and his son have been putting together, and sadly his son passed away recently, and this one's for him, dude. This one's for Javier. We wanted to come together, and knowing that they were working on this together and this being like their project, like I really wanted to do what I could to really make this thing come together for them. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're taking this thing to the dyno. The car's fairly clean, somewhat. It's a Civic, it's not like a brand new paint job or anything, but it looks good. So this is a full Y8. It is a built motor, so it has long rod vitara piston, and it has a Skunk 2 Street Savage camshaft. So it's a budget setup. So built motor, we have a budget turbo kit. So like I said, this is a budget setup, but it is a built motor. So we have a rod and piston motor, vitara piston, Street Savage camshaft, obviously Skunk 2 Pro Series manifold, a 70mm throttle body, and we have a budget turbo kit, probably from eBay. I don't know if the whole kit is EMUSA, but this is what it is. So we have the log style manifold. It's not really a log, but it's cast style manifold. We have a 38mm gate off of the one runner, which this might be an issue in higher boost, but we're going to see. We have a fairly small turbo with the 5-bolt exhaust flange, and we have a 2.5-inch full exhaust. It is crush bent, so we're not here to make extremely large amounts of power. If this thing makes 300, we're going to be extremely happy. He just wants to drive and enjoy the car for his son, and I just want to get this thing running really well for them. So I did make a few changes. I relayed the fuel pump. I cleaned up some of the vacuum nipples that were on it, the plugs. They were actually pretty brittle and worn out. I remounted the boost control solenoid, ran new lines, made this neat, nifty little bracket for that. I also wired in the wideband. It was wired differently, so I wired it in correctly, and I also installed a mechanical oil pressure gauge. There was one of those one wire, weird style, big, bulky oil pressure gauges, and it was just broken. So we installed a mechanical one. I also did install an SI cluster. Everything does work as it should, so that's great. We got an 8EM wideband down there, and this thing is ready to go. Like I said, I did relay the fuel pump. It does have a 450 in the tank. This is on pump gas. Still have a stock fuel filter in place. A Skunk 2 4-bar map sensor. We also were having some interesting codes. We were having a TDC and another sensor code for the distributor, and so it would only happen when it's cold. Once it warmed up, that code went away, but I didn't want like any issues down the road, so we ended up getting a new distributor from Rock Auto. That thing's been trucking away, been working perfectly and doing its job. This does also have 2-inch or 2.5-inch intercooler piping on this side and 2-inch on this side. The intercooler is upside down, but this is how it came to me. This engine, this whole setup is going to get some revamp down the road, but for now, we're gonna get this thing tuned up. I've already been street driving it. It actually honestly drives really good. Way better than the green car that I tuned recently. Surprisingly enough, this has some eBay fuel injectors in it. So it has some 1000cc genuine Bosch injectors, no real brand, just Bosch, 1000cc from eBay. And so we have that in there in conjunction with the camshaft. This thing drives so much better at part throttle. We don't have any issues with breakup. It doesn't run stupid rich. It doesn't misfire. It doesn't do anything weird. And I have to say that's most likely because we have a genuine Bosch injector in this thing. To use these injectors, I didn't have dead times. The thing did not come with them. So what I did was I just went over to Snake Eater Performance, used some of the data from the 1050s that they have that look almost exactly like these injectors, which I think that's probably what they are. And honestly, those dead times worked like absolutely perfect. So this thing's running extremely well so far. The gate is only 5.5 pounds. The springs that it came with, they only came with like two different size springs. So they're the same diameter, so you can't put one inside the other. And they're about the same height. One was 4 pounds and this one's 5.5. It also came with a tiny spring, but it has no real locking perch inside the gate to sit anywhere. So I didn't even add that in. The gate's 5 PSI. We have the boost controller though. So we are going to be able to make roughly between 15 and 20 pounds. I think that'll max out the boost controller and the wastegate. The issue I think we're gonna have though is back pressure. Obviously, like I said, this is a smaller turbo. It's a 6.3 exhaust housing, so that's decent. But this manifold and this gate being on the one runner, I think that is going to cause us some issues with either boost creep or boost fall off, not being able to get enough boost out, or pressure out of the exhaust. So we're gonna see what happens. These manifolds don't flow extremely well. I mean, it makes good boost as soon as you punch it. It's making 8 pounds before 4,500. That also attributed to the camshaft. So, but these manifolds don't flow super well, so they back up. And when you back up exhaust gas pressure, you can actually get into more knock and detonation because you can't get the fuel out, can't get the fuel in, and it can cause more heat. So I'm going to be a little bit softer with the timing on this setup just because of that. But like I said, later down the road, we are going to get to a tubular manifold, full 3-inch exhaust, full 3-inch intercooler piping. The motor is built, like I said, but it does have, the only downfall of the motor, it has a Y8 crankshaft. And if any of you Honda guys know, the Y8 is known for spinning bearings, and there's a reason for that. Obviously, people think Hondas run forever and they can do whatever they want to them and there's no issues. But if you don't change oil there very often, you can run into sludge and stuff. And these crankshafts in the Y series, or the Y8, I know for sure, they have one less oiling port on the crankshaft. So you don't have as consistent of oiling as you would with the Z6 crankshaft. That's why the green car has a Z6 crankshaft. We wanted to alleviate that so we can make power, not have to worry about it. But these have one less oiling port on the crankshaft, so that's the only downfall of this motor. This cam, as you've seen on the other videos with the red hatch, this cam can rev to 8,500 and it'll make power up there. I have the cam advanced from the Y8 position 4.5 degrees. So I'm gonna try to keep the rev limit low to keep the engine alive. I'm only gonna spin this thing to, I might see if it revs to 8 and makes power there, but I'm only gonna set it to 7,500 or so. Like I said, he just wants to enjoy the car and we're not gonna stress it out. We're just gonna make the power it wants to make and it'll be good. I mean, if this thing made 270 horsepower, like max, he'd be happy with it. So, so far it drives really well. He came down and drove it and he's super stoked. He was like, dude, I could take this home right now. And I was like, you totally could. But like I said, we're getting to the dyno tomorrow. I have to hook up my link knock block to the block so that I can listen to knock when we get on the dyno. And we're gonna get this thing knocked out. I've been driving it a little bit and it drives fairly well. It's quiet because it has a 2.5-inch exhaust, and I'm stoked. I really want this thing to be super nice for him and for his son Javi, because yeah, man, that just we got it. I did also get some BKR 7s in here. They are gapped down to 25 thousandths. It did come in with a set of 9s. You know, we don't really need that for the power we're going for. 7s should work. If for some reason I'm running into stupid amounts of knock because of heat and stuff, I could try to throw the 9s in and see if that alleviates anything. I don't think we should have any problems, but if there are the problems, I can take those with us. But I got those in, I got them gapped. We might be close to burning the strap with this, depending on where it goes. So, cause there's no tow hooks up here, which stinks. But if that does end up possibly going into the strap, I might have to flip this upside down so that's up. But other than that, this car is ready to go to the dyno, dude. I just actually took it to get washed. It looks somewhat clean. It looks cleaner than it was. So it's got the cut rear bumper. So I'm ready. Are you ready? Because we're gonna head to the dyno. I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, so we just got to the dyno, got the car strapped down. Gonna get some a little bit of the cruising tuning in. I've already street drove it a bunch, so it should be fine, but get some of that ironed out and then do some pulls. Gate is 5.5 pounds, so we'll see what it makes. And yeah, let's go. So we made 180. We have this interesting dip here where VTEC engages. The red blue is non-VTEC and the green yellow is VTEC. It's asking for more RPM, so I'm probably gonna bump the limiter to 8 just to see what it makes, but I'll lower it back down when we send the car home because he just wants to enjoy it. I don't want to stress the motor out too much. So yeah, I'm gonna move VTEC and I'm gonna add some boost. See what she makes. That was 5.5 pounds, 180 horsepower on 5.5 pounds is not bad. So I'm gonna add some duty to the boost controller and yeah, see what she makes now. So we made 216 so far. This is a steady 8 pounds. The first darker blue line is VTEC on at 5500, which I think is right around here. And then this one was VTEC on at 5000, which is right around there. See that little dip? So I moved it between 5250 basically. And 2 degrees picked us up 5 horsepower, so there's not really much there to be had. I'm not gonna stress it out too much with timing. We're just gonna go to more boost. So 8 pounds is nice. Let's see what 10 pounds gets us. We're already at 220, so 10 pounds will probably be 240, roughly. And then, yeah, let's just keep adding boost. Get this thing running proper. Yeah, exactly. All right, so 10 pounds. It's coming up to 11 right before VTEC, and then once VTEC engages, it's 10, 10 and a half. We're making 240. This 243, and then 244 was 2 degrees, so I pulled that back out. It looks like we're just gonna have to keep adding boost. These single cams don't really like timing too much, so it's gonna make what it's gonna make. We're gonna, you know, have fun with it. So 244 on 10 pounds. That's pretty good power. That it has a camshaft, so it should be making a little more, but this power is a lot easier made with this because of the camshaft. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit less when we turn down the limiter, but here's what it is. We're gonna throw 10% more duty cycle in the controller and see what she makes. We're at about 48% duty cycle in the injectors, so we got plenty of fuel. So yeah, let's get back to it. All right, so we had boost cut, which was that one. It was making 14, 15 pounds. So we hit boost cut. Oh, sorry, not boost cut. That was actually lean cut. I actually have a lean cut on this, so it caught it. It was like 12.2, so it caught it, which is good. So we're making 260 at 11.9 pounds of boost, 12 pounds, which is, we're picking up 10 horsepower per pound of boost. So to get to 300, we need 40 more horsepower, which would be 4 more pounds, which would be 16 pounds of boost, which sounds about right for this setup. So more boost. Like I said, I'm gonna lower the RPM again when we're done, so it'll probably make a smidge under whatever we make at the final. So I'm gonna try to make a little over 300, so when we set it to 7,500 RPM, it makes 300 if we get to that point. So I haven't run into any issues, I haven't heard any knock. We have plenty of injector, everything's going smoothly, so let's continue. This thing's making pretty good power. I mean, I thought we were gonna have a little bit more with the turbo size, a little bit less, more of an issue, but it's pretty good. So this is 10, 12, and 14 pounds. Making great power. I'm just gonna add more boost. I'm not even worried about adding more timing at that point. It's looking really smooth. So see what 16 pounds make. That should make close to 300. We might see what 20 pounds makes at most. That way in cold weather, if it overboosts, it's cool. But yeah. So more boost. We're almost at the limit of our boost controller though. That was 62% to make that. So I set it to 70. I think we can get about 85% before the boost controller just stops working. So I don't want to put it on 100 and just make whatever it'll make because I don't want to stress it out. So we'll go 70%. I'm assuming it's probably going to make 16 to 18 pounds in that range and a little over 300. So let's see what we can do. was not expecting this, bro. I was not expecting this power at all, bro. Bruh. 345 at 21 pounds. 21 PSI. Now that's, I feel like that's normal for the single cam, but bro, 21 pounds, 345 wheel horsepower. Dog. And it's probably gonna make that even if I lower the RPM to 7,500 because it's rolling over. 21 pounds in this setup is probably where we're gonna leave it. I mean, I'll turn it down a little, but 345 with just a cool down. 21 pounds. I did not expect that out of this setup. I am gonna try and get you guys some pulls from the front. I'm gonna go through 1, 2, 3 with boost by gear setup so you guys can hear what that sounds like. Hopefully it sounds ridiculous. I haven't done that before, so yeah. Let's see what it sounds like. So this number's a little off in the first gear, but that's basically under 150 horsepower in first gear, which is great for traction. Second gear is on 12 pounds, so it's making a little over 250, which will spin and it'll be fun. And then third gear, it says 336, but like I said, when it's cool, 345. So that's fantastic. I'm happy with it. I hope from the front it sounded good with the wastegate. Yeah, I'm stoked. This thing runs really, really well. So let's get this thing pulled off the dyno and we'll catch up back at the shop. Alrighty, boys and girls. It's time to see how this boost feels and how the boost by gear and the quick spool feels. I had the quick spool on the entire time at the dyno. I was trying to target a few PSI before target PSI, so we'll see how that works on the street. It might boost cut. I have our boost cut set at 24 right now. It is cooler out now than it was at the dyno. So, and we're outside, we're not inside of a shop. So our intake air temps are gonna be about 20 to 30 degrees cooler. When I was doing pools, it was like anywhere from like 103 to 115 degrees intake air temp. So now that our intake air temp is cooler, I have it in there to pull some duty cycle out of the controller so we don't overboost, but it still might, so I have to dial that in. I'm assuming this thing has an open differential, so like a stock differential. Sorry about the light. And so it's gonna one tire fire and pull left and right probably. So we'll see how it goes. We'll dial it in. Now we were having some issues on the dyno with it wanting to hit boost cut before we even got into VTEC, and that had a lot to do with ignition timing. But we ended up hitting a lean cut one time, so I'm gonna keep my eye on the map, make sure it's not going lean, so that we don't have any issues, and we should be Gucci. So that lean cut is still on, so just in case it were to go a little lean, like right now the map looks a few percent lean, as you can see from all the yellow down here. It's a couple percent, but that's nothing horrible. Closed loop will be on when the car leaves, so it'll drive absolutely perfect all the time. I did actually try closed loop full time, even in boost the other day, and it worked pretty good. The only issue I had was I didn't have the fuel cleaned up perfectly. So in the low cam it was pulling fuel, and as soon as it kicked over the high cam it was lean because it kept that percentage. It was pulling and then it slowly brought it back in. I could have fine-tuned it to always like be quick with response, but to be honest, I didn't want the closed loop doing a bunch of shit in boost, so I just turned the closed loop back to being what it is and under boost. So Right now it's off, so I'm gonna dial this in at 80 degrees and see what happens. I'm probably just gonna add a little bit of intake air temp compensation because I know it's tuned at 100, 110 degrees intake air temp, which would be summertime, so it'll be 0 compensation there. And then this 80, 83, 82 degrees will then be have a little bit of fuel compensated for it. So all right, gonna get a little second gear pull up here, see how that feels. It should be on 12 pounds. I'm gonna data log it so I can look at it and see what it does. So let's see what happens. That felt good. I'm not happy with the transmission. It grinds every time. Doesn't matter when I push the clutch in or anything. But that felt solid. Both wheels spun, which this thing doesn't have LSD, but both wheels spun. That felt really good. I can't wait to feel third gear. I'm gonna look over that log real quick, see if we were lean at all, and then yeah, we'll get up here and we'll do another pull. I am feeling a slight vibration when we get to about 4,000 RPM. I'm gonna have to check over the engine bolts, engine mounts, make sure everything's tight. Or maybe it's the exhaust. I don't know if you can hear it. That. I'll have to check that, see what that is. Hopefully nothing's loose. All right. Let's see what third gear has in store for us. Should be 21 pounds. Or maybe a little more because it's colder. So I'm just gonna roll onto it in third. After these cars pass, of course. Safety first. Fuel was there, everything looked nice. I call that a win. That felt fucking that felt fast, man. I don't want to do like a 1, 2, 3. The transmission is not liking it. It is not liking the shifts. I don't know if it's how short the actual knob is or what, but it was not liking it. So we'll get another pull in here real quick. We'll see what that's looking like, and we should be Gucci. I mean, it's working. I don't know what PSI that was. I'll have to check, but everything feels good. For this thing not having an LSD, it hooks really freaking well. Solid. I think the boost gauge said like 22, 23 pounds, which fine by me, man. Fine by me. All right. I'll do it. You're twisting my arm, but I'll do it, man. You guys want a 1, 2, 3? For the gram, right? That's what these kids say nowadays. For the gram. It's hard to shift this thing fast, not gonna lie. I'm trying to not grind the gears, and it's being a little pain in the ass. But there you go. Takes a little bit to build back boost once you fucking take years to shift. But it is what it is. It's running good. Running really good. get another one in here real quick. It does not like to shift fast at all. I didn't miss. I had the clutch held in still. It just wasn't in gear. Dang it. Well, it is what it is. We have some transmission upgrades for this thing too. Hopefully some carbon synchros and an LSD. And to get this damn shifter out of here so you can actually shift properly, but it's coming. It feels quick. This car's gonna be a lot of fun. Dude, fucking boost, man. What the fuck? That shit is a different fucking drug, bruh. And we are back. I forgot. I gotta get you guys some two-step before we leave this video. All right, I'm gonna try to make this a little bit spicy so we can get some pretty good film. So let's go. That was good enough. I don't know if there's any flames, but there should have been. There's definitely lots of pops and bangs. I think I saw 9 pounds, 8-9 pounds. It's pretty good. All right, just to give you guys an idea of what kind of boost we're making on the street right now. This was this was the second gear pull where I thought it should have been making 12 pounds, and it was only making, it made 11.6 at first, but then it fell to 10 pounds. But I was hitting the limiter. I don't know if you guys can even see that, but and then the first third gear pulled up to 21.5, and then or 21.8, falls to 20.5. Oops. And then picks up back to 21.5. It was like cycling between 21 and 20. I think that is compressor surge. I believe that's what that is. And then another third gear pull came up to 20.5. Drops to 19.8, comes back to 20, 20.8, 21.1, 20.8, 20.6. So our boost is in the 20s. It's relatively flat. This was when I missed gear. I moved some of the boost to duty cycle. So this is 12.5 pounds. And then this one comes up to 17, 18, 20, 20.7, which is basically 21. So the fueling looks good. Everything is very safe. 11.5, 11.4, touched 11.7 right here on the rise. Everything's Gucci. I would like him to come back when it gets colder. We can go over the tune. I can just add in some compensation so he can be safe when it's really cold, so he can, you know, drive it whenever. And because in the cold, like when it's right now, I think it's like 50 degrees. When it's in the 30s, not that he should be beating on it in the 30s, but when it's in the 30s, it's going to want a little bit more fuel. I just need to make sure that's correct. So when it comes back in the winter, maybe for upgrades or whatever, I can look over the tune again and make sure that it's spot on. That's how I tune. I got to make sure that shit's good. He could even send me a data log, and I got the file. I can make some changes, send him back the new file. He uploads a new file. Boom, boom, done. That's how y'all get y'all mail-in tunes. So everything's looking good. Yeah. But yeah, guys, that is all for this video. This thing came out really good. Tuning this thing was a surprise. Obviously with the very small intercooler piping, the 2.5-inch exhaust, we still almost managed 350 wheel horsepower. So I'm stoked. I know he's excited. I might, after this, include a small clip if he comes down and picks it up this weekend of his reaction to us doing a pool. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe, comment, you know, all that good stuff. Come back for more content. Hopefully I can keep plugging this stuff away for you guys. I would like to get on moving on the CRX, because that's definitely a priority I need to get done. So we'll see how that goes. But this one, man, this is for Javi, yo. This is for you, buddy. You know, you're looking down on us. You made this happen, not me. That was all you, bud. I hope they enjoy this thing, man. Deuces. All right, we're about to get a third gear pull in. See how he likes this power.
Oh, shit.
Ready? If it allowed me to shift how I want to shift, this thing would feel like crazy. It feels a lot better when you go like 1, 2, 3.
Right.
I can't shift this thing to save my life. I just don't like shifting.
You don't like shifting?
No, I said you don't like it. It's like
the
hard. Yeah.
Dang.
I'll do another one.
Third.
I'll do another one here. Listen.
You're still recording while it's off?
Yeah, no, this, yeah, just screens are fine. Ready?
Oh, this shit's holding the beat.
Dude, it didn't break up a single bit on the dyno. I didn't have to gap the plugs at all.
Right.
The distributor is working perfectly.
Nice. So that was the issue, that cold?
Yeah, it cleared it up. It was only happening when it was cold, but it cleared it up.
Oh, we pulled you. You going to pull?
Alright, let's see what she got.
Third gear definitely opens way different.
Like I said, it does not like to shift at all. It's so hard. I feel like, I think it's because the shifter's short too.
Yeah.
But with the trans that we put in next,
Okay.
the carbon synchros, if we do go carbon synchros, and LSD,
Right.
although this thing feels like it's got an LSD already.
I feel like you say it was pulling, it was burning two wheels.
Yeah, it spins both. It's weird because I've had a single cam do that before with an open diff, but I was like, oh, maybe that's just the, I don't know.
Maybe you got one of those limited, one of those little plates that'd be putting for like $13.
Is that what's in there?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm just saying. It could be. I bought that tranny. I bought like 5 trannies, bro, and I just pulling on it. How's the steering?
Steering feels good.
Yeah.
Try not to heat up the brakes too much.
Right.
Get a little warm. Yeah, it feels good. It feels straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that Bull Lewis did the alignment.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.